Bonjour Delta Spirit. Hello Delta Spirit.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
So you do speak French. Cool.
One word.
Cool. Can you introduce yourself? Who are you?
I'm Matt.
Kelly.
And you come from where?
Southern California, currently Long Beach, California, just south of LA.
So I listened to your album History from Below and I loved it, really the first time. What I would like to do is to introduce me each song and to, if you can say in a few sentences what each song is about. The first one is called 911, a famous number in America.
Yeah. 9/11, I suppose.
Yeah, they missed the backslash.
Really?
Yeah, it's a typo.
Oh, so it's 9/11?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what is that song about?
The song was inspired by a man named Howard Zinn. He's a kind of a leftist historian, and I don't know how familiar the French are with his life story. His own biography is pretty phenomenal. He was a Jewish. His parents were Jewish immigrants, and he worked in the docks, and then he was a union organizer, and then he worked in the Second War, and then he was a teacher at an all-black college, and he was part of the civil rights movement. He was, after that, he was part of exposing like Pentagon papers that had to do with the reason why we went to Vietnam, which was rubber and oil and all those kind of things. And his writings were just really inspiring in the last 3 years reading them. And just kind of, America is so spread out, and every state kind of has its own little character and its own kind of country. It's like each state kind of feels like its own country, you know. But and the character of America is not necessarily the politicians that are running it, but most often quite the opposite. And you know, even regardless of people's political leanings, it's like characters like Jesse James and characters like Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King are really inspiring, and that's a thing to take pride in our culture, in American culture.
One of my favorite songs on the album is the next one, Salt in the Wound. What this one is about?
I did a lot of drugs when I was a kid, and from that point, like I lived in Austin, Texas. I dropped 3 tabs of acid. Next thing I knew, I was living in California, and I spent my high school career there. And church kind of saved me out of these things, like Jesus saved me. And then after I started getting older, and I moved out of that, and then I kind of went downhill again, and I tried to go back to that, but it just never worked. And that was me kind of confronting agnosticism and looking at the world as basically saying, well, if God doesn't exist, you know, that's fine, and still trying to reach for spirituality and like seeing the beauty in just being a human. And it's good. It's the greatest art project, it's just being a human.
How do you do to pick songs? Is there a vote?
Oh, no. It's, yeah.
Is there a bus?
But no, it's just, you know, Matt's a little bit more of a prolific songwriter than I am as far as...
Too kind.
As far as, you know, pumping them out and them, you know, more often than not being good songs. And you know, I tend to feed off of intense circumstances when I write songs, so they come quicker to him, and so it's just whatever happens, whatever makes sense, and so that's how we put it together. There's no, I like this one, and I don't like that, you know. So
okay.
Very democratic.
Golden State.
Oh, that was the last song we wrote.
Oh.
And we had this record, and we're extremely proud of it, but it was definitely missing kind of an element. A lot of the songs would just have such heavy topics, and we were kind of trying to look for something light. And we had other songs that were light, but they were sarcastic, and they were kind of like one song was kind of like a Violent Femmes influenced song, and another song's just kind of like a Bruce Springsteen influenced song, but it just ended up sounding like we were trying to play some classic rock bullcrap, you know, it's just whatever. And that song is like what we loved about Trash Can Song from the last record was just there's sincerity and kind of I'm not too good at being sarcastic. Everybody takes me seriously when I'm being sarcastic. So this is you know, Trash Can Song was me thanking these guys for being in my band just because you know, but for obvious reasons. But this song is just saying thank you to all the people that have shown up to our shows and put us up on their floors, literally. Especially through Canada and the United States, like just they've taken care of us. And
we didn't have any money for hotels. They'd put us up in their houses, and
yeah,
cool.
We get like 1 hotel room per 48 state tour, and
So
we
you
did that a few
went to
times.
sleep at home at the people's house?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Amazing.
like,
Great way to get to meet people.
Yeah.
You know, and
and they're fans for life,
yeah.
or maybe, I don't know. You just, hang out with people, get to know them, and they're nice enough to open up their home, and then we move on to the next town, and same thing.
You have breakfast with them the next morning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Or sometimes they just go to work and leave us at their house, and we find our own way out.
We stay at hotels now, but sometimes it's just kind of like you need the adventure, and it's been good.
I wonder how
Get that
you
experience.
can sleep in an hotel every night in different cities. It must be so boring. So, I mean, I know it's your life as an artist, as a musician.
What are you saying?
I mean, how can you write songs in a room which is the same night was yesterday, and just a TV set and a clean room with no emotion, nobody inside, and
Because maybe that room's not what's inspiring. It's the people that you meet, or whatever you're going through, and whatever you're going through together or individually, or either way, you know. And the hotel room's great because it's kind of a sensory deprivation tank. There's nothing going on there, so it's nothing to distract you. So all you're thinking about is the thing that inspired you.
Saint Francis. I love this one too.
Oh, thanks.
I think it's like both of our favorite ones on the record. It's originally, we first started kind of presenting ideas for new songs for this record. I wrote some chords, which would later be that song, but only because Matt stole the chords from me.
Oh.
Took them home, came back the next day and finished it. Wrote a chorus, wrote lyrics.
Is that allowed?
What's that?
Is that allowed in your group? You can do that?
Oh, now it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun that way, Like Matt's starting something, and I'll snag it and write something. But yeah, it's for the better. It's one of my favorite ones on the record, and it's an amazing one to play live, and it's the funnest one to record.
Thanks for coming here, and I really hope that this is going to work in France, because you do deserve it. This is a great album.
Thank you
really.
very much.
So let's hear from Delta Spirit now. Let's hear some music.
All right.